Welcome back to The Vocalist. We are listening to Morissette today. I know there are a lot of artists I haven't heard yet, but I really love what she does, and it's been a really long time since I've watched one of her performances, so here we go.
Muling ibalik ang pag-ibig na dati sa atin. Muli ay iyong pagbigyan, ako'y nagkamali. Muli ay iyong patawarin, ako'y nagsisisi. Alam kong ako'y nangakong di na mauulit pa. Ako'y nagkamali sa'yo, muli ay patawarin mo. Ako ba yung yayakapin, nakaraay kayang limutin? Magtiwala muli, mahalin mo muli, ibalik ka sa akin. Kung kakayanin ko, ika'y mawawala sa aking piling. Di ko kakayanin pa, nalaman kong wala ng pag-ibig sa akin. Kayang mag-isa, gustong kasama kita, sa'yo lang ang pag-ibig ko. Magtiwalang muli, ito lang huli, pagkakamali, pag-ibig ko. Muling tanggapin.
Goodness. Yeah, we're going back. I just so enjoy the tone of her voice. It's so beautiful, at least to me. I know, subjective, but it is. I just find it so gorgeous. Sorry, I have a lot of things going through my mind. We're gonna go back to the beginning, and I'm gonna stop and start.
Muling ibalik ang pag-ibig.
This breathiness, it's always been a sound that I've enjoyed from her. And she's able to use it throughout the entirety of her range. It doesn't just happen on the lower end or when one would think, oh, she's transitioning into head voice. Like, she really does incorporate it throughout, and it's just one of the elements that adds so much variety to her performances. The combination of different textures, and this I would consider a type of texture, even though it isn't necessarily a harsh texture. We're not hearing full complete adduction of the chords. We're hearing some airflow, and that's giving us this beautiful velvety sound.
Na dati.
And let me back it up a little bit to the beginning, because then you get to hear that fuller pressed sound, and I just love the contrast.
Muling ibalik ang pag-ibig na dati sa atin.
I love that vibrato rate. It's just a smidge wider than we hear a lot in certain pop songs. I don't know, there's this really, I don't know, it's like luxurious with that just added width in her vibrato. I think it's stunning. Now, I love when she I feel like she's very strategic with the vocal textures she incorporates, because she introduced a lot of that airy quality, and now that she's hanging out in the basement, like really low in her range, you have to have relaxation in the chords in order for them to continue to vibrate at such a low, well, I know even saying low frequency is kind of subjective, but when we talk about a lower frequency in an individual's range, obviously there are much lower frequencies than what she's singing now, but for her, to my ears, this is lower in her range. This isn't mid voice. And so when your chords are nice and dense and really thick, you still need them to be relaxed enough to vibrate. And so the fact that she incorporated some air at the onset of this song, and now we're hearing it again, it doesn't feel abrupt or abrasive. It feels like it just all blended seamlessly together.
Muli ay ang patawarin ako'y nagsisisi. Alam kong ako'y nangakong di na mauulit pa. Ako'y nakahuli sa'yo. Muli ay patawarin mo. Ako ba yung yayakapin? Nakaraay ka.
Let me back this up. It became even more prevalent later, but I love, it's almost like there's a little duet happening between her vocals and the guitar, and just the way the guitarist is, I might say accompanying her, but it feels more collaborative than that. So I don't know how they, came up with this, or if they did it together or what, but I really feel like there's a good, it's like there's a play there that's happening, and I really enjoy it. Here, okay. If you pay attention to her phrasing, the moments that are a little bit more staccato versus legato and really stretched out, I feel like the guitar does a really beautiful job of echoing that and having somewhat similar phrasing. Again with the phrasing, her breath, when she takes a substantial breath, is at times undetectable, unless you're watching her and like you see that physical movement in her body, which I appreciate because it's not interrupting the vocal line. This is another great section when you sort of go back and forth and tune your ears to the guitar and then tune your ears to her vocals. There's just a beautiful back and forth and a really collaborative approach to phrasing here. Okay, so in the guitar, obviously, it feels more percussive, and I feel like we're getting more glottal stops from her as opposed to really smooth. Like if you start a sound with a consonant, instead of singing ah, we get ah. It's just it's not abrasive, but it can be, if depending on the air pressure and the muscle that you're using, but it doesn't have to be. There is a separation though. There is a slight added firmness to the chords when we do that, and hearing what she's doing and then what the guitar is doing, I just love it. always said this about her riffs. They're intentional. They're not elaborate just for the sake of showing off. Like sometimes her riffs are insane and there are a lot of notes, but they always feel I feel like there's specificity and there's reasoning behind her choices, which I love.
Sabihin mo sa akin ang iyong gusto'y susundin. Magtiwalang di sinasadyang maging di tapat sa'yo. Nakalimot na ako ang dahil di ginusto. Ako pa ba'y kayang yakapin ang init ng halik sa atin? Kaya ba'y ibalik naman pa at saglit ang sakit na iyong wala ka na? Di ko kakayanin ko.
Okay, I'll back it up into this chorus again. When we think about vocal health, the reason I love the numerous textures she incorporates in her music is you can get away with one texture, but if you're not fully adducting the chords, it can lead to, well, in some cases, damage. In other cases, just fatigue or lack of dexterity. There are a lot of things can happen when you're not engaging the full length of your vocal folds. And just then when she went into mix, previously in that range, we had heard something that was very light, reminiscent of head voice, separation between the chords, even though there was still stretch in the chords to get those higher notes. Now we're getting to hear a really beautiful chest dominant mix, so there's more muscle engagement, more press, and I just think that's a great choice, not only artistically, but also as a singer to incorporate that variety for the sake of health and longevity.
Ang init ng halik sa atin. Kaya ba'y ibalik naman pa at saglit ang sakit na iyong wala ka na? Di ko kakayanin kung ika'y mawawala sa aking piling. Di ko kakayanin pag nalaman kung wala nang pag-ibig sa atin. Kayang mag-status kung kasama kita. Sa'yo lang ang pag-ibig ko. Tiwalang muli, ito na ang huling pagkakamaling pag-ibig ko. Muling tanggapin, muling mahalin. Di kakayanin, ika'y mawala sa'king piling. Muling mahalin, ika'y magbalik. Magtiwalang muli, muling ibalik ang pag-ibig na dati sa atin.
Oh, what a great riff. Again, so intentional. Like, we weren't hearing a ton of florid passages throughout. No, they were just very specific and concentrated, and I love that. I did look up the English translation to this song before watching, and I am just loving the intensity that she is bringing to this performance. I've said this a million times, I'll say it a million more. When I think about great artists, I feel like I'm so in tune with the text, and even though I don't know the language, I I feel in tune with the text. Having read through the English translation, I feel like I am absorbing the meaning of this song because of her delivery. And I just so appreciate when artists do that. Not just for themselves, but for the listener, for the performance, for the text. I think it's really important. To get this one last time because this mix, I mean, earlier we heard a lot of chest dominant mix, but as high as she is going right now, it's head dominant, but she's doing it in a way that we're not hearing vibrato, we're not getting that added airflow. She's still engaging a lot of muscle to create something that just blends so seamlessly with everything bottom to top. It just all sounds so unified. You can almost hear it there, that transition from chest mix into head. There too, and that tiny little slide into it was so smart. I loved that little transition into her speaking voice at the end. I think one of the reasons she could be taken for granted is because her entire vocal line is always so well tempered. She makes it look so easy, and there's a lot involved in that. Not only the dexterity that she has throughout the entirety of her range, but also how she controls her air. When we think about air pressure, that is just how much air is coming out, and the rate at which that's coming out, the degree to which that's coming out. But the other side of that is control, like breath control, and how you utilize that air, how you maintain lines, whether they're shorter phrases, longer phrases, whether you're at a really loud dynamic level or you're singing really softly. There's so much that goes into that with both the muscles in the larynx and how you're using your air. And I just have always found her performances just feel so polished. We expect polished performances from professional singers, but I think we can all agree we've seen some live performances that are not as polished as others. And she has always given such incredibly elegant, finessed, polished performances. And it just speaks volumes to her vocal technique, her professionalism, stage presence, all of that. I just think she puts so much effort into streamlining her vocals again throughout the entirety of her range, and it's just such a joy to watch. Yeah, that's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.